My name's James D. Scrine. I'm from south of Atlanta, Georgia. During an inspection one day, I was injured on the job. I went to my flight surgeon, family physician. He referred me to a chiropractor next door. He took a look at it, tried to massage a little bit, and there was so much pain I just couldn't do it. So from that point on, my daughter was kind enough to drive me to St. Joseph's in Atlanta, where they did an x-ray and said, well, sir, all you have is a herniated disc. You'll be fine in 6 weeks. Started the workman's comp and found out the workman comp system is not real kind to those who become injured. So they had specific things they wanted me to do, which I did. They suggested, well, what we've done so far didn't work. They gave me a steroid shot in my lower back. About 4 months after the injury, that the shot had made me a diabetic and my eyesight was very poor. At that point, I contacted legal assistance. From there, I saw my first surgeon at the Atlanta Spine Clinic. He said, you do have a herniated disc and you may have some torn disc associated with it or something going on in between the vertebrae. You're probably going to wind up with surgery. And our biggest worry in the beginning was this is going to progress to where you're going to be in a wheelchair after surgery or before surgery, and it was heading that way. You can try to talk yourself out of, well, it's not as bad as they said, and I can work my way through it, and that's what the OxyContin will do for you. It'll make you feel like I'm not hurt. You don't take it for a day and you can't move. You're actually in a fetal position trying to do something. The roller coaster of depression, depression, is going to come back over the next several months. We started talking, what options we had and where in Atlanta we could go or something like that. And he goes, there's a guy in Nashville that doesn't move the spine over. He goes in from the front and then he goes in from the back, and he's having some real good success with that. Would you be interested in it? And I said, well, sure. I asked for the workman's comp if I could get a second opinion. Took a week or 2 or 3, of course, for them to get back with us, and they approved it. So they thought he was in Atlanta. I think that's the only reason they approved it. I got in the car and drove up here as quick as I could and got the ball rolling. He gave me the same diagnosis, but a little bit more, saying that you're looking at not 2 levels, but 4 levels. Didn't know what that meant, and I'm probably glad I didn't because of the extensive surgery that was going to be done. And from that point on, it seemed like workman's comp had an agenda of all of these hoops that I had to jump through before they were going to approve the surgery. During the process of working up to the surgery, we would ask for, we need to get this done. And they said, well, first you need to have a myelogram done. And so we would go, it'd take a month to get that scheduled and get all that set up. And then we'd say, okay, what about the surgery? The 2 surgeons had said something about surgery. Well, we really need you to have a discogram done to make sure that that's what we're doing. And I'm going, now how's this insurance company telling me that these 2 surgeons that don't know each other have agreed that we have to have this done, and now I've got to go have a discogram done. So we have that done. I'm sure they believed what was in writing that the surgeons had said, but they didn't treat me as they believed that I was hurt as bad as I was. You start off with a caseworker, then conveniently, when something comes up you ask for, they change. And that new person is just absolutely ignorant to what your case is, so there's another month. And then the lawyer that's their lawyer conveniently is changed somewhere down the line. So now he has to get up to speed on your case, So I felt like here I am having a fight for every procedure, and now they're throwing curves in there to slow down the process even further. So now, not only do you have to jump through the hoops, you got to fight for the person to stay with you and believe in you and help you out and this, that, and other. And it's a shame that you have to go to a lawyer to have him write a letter to tell them to do their job. Just finished talking with Dr. McCord downstairs. Today is 75 days since surgery. No wheelchair. We're starting to come off of the drugs, and I don't believe without Dr. McCord's help that I would have ever made it through any of this, and I would have been in a wheelchair and taking medicines that would have probably taken away my life. I'm a 23-year military pilot. I've seen it all. My 17 years We're picking up dead people or people that had been injured and carrying them to hospitals and seeing families and having to tell them they didn't make it. The bottom line for anyone working with workman's comp is that you're going to have to fight for everything to get your health back. And the best way to do that for me was to fight through Dr. McCord to get my surgery done. And that's what happened, and now I'm able to walk again.